Hey everybody, we begin 13 News at 4 today with breaking news out of Indianapolis.
A traffic nightmare just brewing on the city's northeast side, and all of this because of major interstate closure at the start of the evening commute.
Let's get right to Scott Swan in the newsroom. He's following details for us. Scott, what have you learned and what do you know?
Yeah, Dustin, here is the issue right here. So we're talking about an overturned semi-truck. This is on the southbound ramp of 465 going to the eastbound direction of I-70. You can see the semi, it's on its side. They've got some emergency crews here trying to upright it. About an hour ago, traffic on I-70 was closed in both directions. So this is downtown Indianapolis. Traffic going this way is going westbound. Traffic heading out there is moving away from downtown Indianapolis. So we understand that this truck was carrying some organic peroxide and corrosive material. They were initially worried about it being a hazmat spill, and so they closed down the I-70 lanes in both directions for about an hour. It appears as though that is no longer an issue, but the semi-truck on its side has closed this I-465 southbound ramp down. We don't know how long this will be closed, but if you travel from downtown Indianapolis eastbound on I-70, you may want to find another direction, because as the evening commute gets underway, we can expect there's going to be a lot of looky-loos looking up at this semi that is on its side. So again, just to recap, this is the 465 southbound ramp leading to I-70 eastbound. An overturned semi here. They do have some wreckers here trying to get it uprighted. The spill, we don't know exactly how that containment is going right now, and we don't know about any injuries right now, but that truck, so long as it's on its side, is going to shut down this on-ramp onto I-70. So we'll continue to keep an eye on this for you this afternoon. But again, if you're heading out of downtown Indianapolis on I-70 out toward Post Road, you may want to find another way to get where you're going, because we can expect to see I-70 get very heavy traffic throughout the afternoon. We'll give you another update coming up in this newscast.
Quite a mess there. Hope it gets cleaned up soon. Scott, thank you. Check back in. Let us know if you got any developments there. The other big story today is the weather, the threat of severe weather. It's a weather impact alert day.
And we've already seen some powerful storms roll through downtown Indianapolis and other parts of central Indiana. Sean and the weather team are on top of it. What are you seeing now, Sean?
Well, we're not done yet. We still have storms on radar. We've had a lot of power outages. We're almost at 30,000 in Marion County alone. So let's get right into it here. I want to show you some of the scenes, a couple of pictures here. This is from Speedway. Maggie said her mom lost this tree here. We had near 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Do we ever have a boundary? These are current heat indices right now. 72 in Indy, 108 in Bedford, and near 100 in Terre Haute. And you can tell where there's a lot of unused storm energy on the western and southwestern part of the state, and that will be key. All right, so this is the latest with radar. Muncie now in round 3 today. And that's going to keep the flash flooding going, and then that's going to head over to Richmond. That'll be their third bout of storms as well. Now, whether or not they're going to be severe, Rob and I will be watching it. This is the lapse of how things have played out. This is some of the storm reports that we've had across the metro area. And then here you go. This is the latest severe thunderstorm warning. Potential for some 60-mile-per-hour gusts with this. Parts of Fountain, Montgomery, Tippecanoe County until 4:30 here. And we expect there will be at least potential for some 60-mile-per-hour gusts with that. And that's what we're seeing with the radar sampling that. As we show you other storms, these are not severe, impactful, certainly, with some heavy rain and gusty wind. And then that outflow boundary, we talked about that boundary, it triggered some new storms, and you can see those as well. From Martinsville, that's severe thunderstorm warning. This is likely going to be expanded and closer to Nashville. We'll be watching this. I do expect the western part of the state, I-65 down toward Bloomington, likely we'll get some additional severe thunderstorm warnings, and that's why they've just expanded the severe thunderstorm watch. And we could do this all over again tomorrow and Thursday. More ahead in the forecast.
All right, see you soon. Sean, thank you. How about we do some good news now?
Okay.
Ready for some good news?
Well, let's get to it. What you got?
This is for drivers who travel on Indy's northeast side. This is a look at new drone video of 465 at I-69.
Okay, so you see that. So we have been dealing with construction here for 4 years now. And now NDOT says the Clear Path project is just about done. Samantha Johnson is here now with what we have just learned. Samantha, certainly some good news.
Yeah, we'll take it. We talked to INDOT today, and they say we are 90% done with this project. The biggest headache of all this mess is now behind us. So we are on the up and up. Crews still on track to finish up all the major construction by the end of this year. So that is certainly good news. The most recent progress, you may have noticed, 465 eastbound from Keystone up north all the way around to 56th Street on the east side. That is all now open in its final form. That means everyone is driving on those new lanes, brand new roadway. Of course, this Clear Path project has been a pretty big deal. 5 miles of interstate. It's actually the second most traveled corridor in our state. It sees about 125,000 cars a day. So you can tell why that was much needed work.
Yeah, and we've been waiting for 4 years.
Yes.
So, seems a lot longer than 4 years,
Well,
doesn't it?
I was going to say that's when we met.
Forever ago.
Yeah, the time just keeps building.
So-
Construction always does.
It does. So what can we expect next on this one?
There will be a lot of small changes that we'll notice
Okay.
throughout the several months into the new year even. They'll have some minor changes, but INDOT told me today there are 2 major steps that are the next steps in this progress. Take a listen.
Later this month, we're going to be opening a new ramp from 465 eastbound and northbound Benford to 82nd Street. That's one of those final steps in the main interchange of 465 and 69 that we're really excited about. Within the next month, hopefully in September, we will have the 56th Street ramp open. And I know a lot of people have been asking about that.
That's always a big backup out on the east side. So more changes, but good changes this time around to come in the next few weeks and months. Like we mentioned, construction started 4 years ago. I know you're anxious for it to get back to normal, but just be careful still as we get used to the changes. More signage going up in the next few weeks. In fact, while we were out there today, we watched someone get pulled over by state police because they were speeding when they shouldn't have been. So give yourself some extra time, pay attention to those new signs, and we'll have more from INDOT tonight at 6.
Good reminder.
Yes.
It's always construction season.
It's always
A reminder for us all, Sam. Thank you for bringing the good news.
Yeah.
Also this afternoon, well, an Indianapolis man is actually accused of running a major drug trafficking and dogfighting operation, and he is now one of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives.
Gregory Henderson Jr. has been on the run since federal agents raided his operation back in 2023. And now the FBI is offering up to $1 million for information leading to his arrest. Ashton Hackman was there for the announcement today. He joins us now. So why is the FBI putting so much effort into finding this guy?
Yeah, this is his poster. They say he was a major player in this drug operation, allegedly moving cocaine, meth, and fentanyl for the Sinaloa cartel. Now, investigators say Henderson also ran a dogfighting operation. And when agents raided several homes in 2023, they seized dozens of dogs, guns, and other evidence. Despite those raids, Henderson has managed to stay out of custody. The FBI says he's 6'1", about 220 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. He may also go by the names of Grego, Whitey, or Corey Williams. And investigators say he has ties to Chicago, Detroit, Louisville, and St. Louis. The FBI says citizen tips are essential.
The 542 people have been added to the top 10 list. 502 have been arrested or captured. 164 of those arrests were the results of tips provided by people who called into the FBI.
The FBI says Henderson should be considered armed and dangerous. If you think you know where he is, don't approach him. Instead, call the FBI or local law enforcement. They do have his photos there, obviously, a lot of his descriptive information, some of his facial features. You can also get a look at his poster. We've got all of that on this story at WTHR.com. But it's interesting, we were told today he is the only Indiana native who has been on the top 10 most wanted list. So a very interesting development.
Okay. All right. Ashton Hackman reporting this afternoon. Thank you.
Also new today, Metro Police say they've arrested a man in connection with a deadly shooting last year. It happened October 12th on North Tibbs Avenue. Police found 40-year-old Clifford Nathaniel Hudson in critical condition, and he died days later in the hospital. Now we're going to learn final charging decisions from the prosecutor's office in Marion County. Of course, as soon as we learn more about the suspect, we'll pass that along to you.
Well, IMPD says an increase in crashes makes roadway safety even more important during this back-to-school season. Callie Lichter has what you need to know on their back-to-school enforcement blitz.
Thousands are heading back to class here in Indianapolis. That's why IMPD is increasing their traffic enforcement efforts in these school zones to make it sure that every single student heads back to the classroom safely. As those students head back to school, drivers need to remember habits that may have slipped over the summer.
School's back in session, and this is a busy time, as I said earlier, and so with traffic and pedestrians on the rise, we're going to be out, we're going to be enforcing just like we have in years past.
The back-to-school traffic enforcement blitz has officers focused on school zones, bus stops, and busy roads to stop accidents before they happen. That means enforcement of speed limits, stopping for pedestrians at extended bus arms, and not driving distracted.
I don't know of any, human life or injury to any person that's worth that. Cars are metal and plastic, they can be replaced. People, whole different ballgame.
Well, Nikki says IMPD has seen an increase in crashes recently, making this back-to-school enforcement crucial.
This isn't just all about school zones, it's about traffic safety as a whole and the safety of our city as a whole.
But at the end of the day, he says it's up to an individual driver.
Every driver out there making personal choices to be safe,
so that every student can be in their seats when the bell rings. IMPD also wants to remind drivers that inside these school zones, there are increased penalties for traffic offenses. Callie Lichter, 13 News.
Callie, thank you. Also